Well, we had another good practice today. I thought our guys have been locked in. The one part that you always worry about the bye week is just, not being at the pace of the game and the speed of the game. We almost followed it to a T to our last bye week. I thought we started that one off on the right note, and hopefully we'll do the same thing Saturday. An early game in Little Rock. Excited to see the crowd. Excited to play in Little Rock and have an opportunity to get some magic back on our sidelines. Hopefully do some good things. I thought our fans have been great throughout the season. This is obviously our last time in Arkansas, last chance for our seniors to play in front of a home crowd, and would really like to send them off in the right way. It's a group that's had a lot of haymakers thrown at them. They keep standing up and fighting and persevering. I'm very excited for this group to hopefully end up on a positive note. With that, open up for questions. There's nothing from an injury standpoint. Carol Washington was a little bit banged up, but he practiced today and looked good, so shouldn't have any issues. Will Hines will play, but he won't start, and it'll kind of be a game time decision to see how much he gets involved.
You know you're starting those two corner spots?
We for sure will start Jared Collins, and then the other spot would be between Tevin Mitchell and DJ Dean.
Interesting to have a running back in 98, I guess.
You know what? No, there won't be a running back in 98. There was a thoughts of it, but he's not going to be in that now. But possibly in that next game. You know what? Chris had it when I gave Robert a little bit of heat because everybody wanted to wear, or he wanted everybody to wear. He came up with a list, of guys he wanted to have. I said, Robert, we only got X number of games, we can't everybody, and then he'd given me Alex's name obviously, and Chris's, and Trey's, and Jay Will's, and I'm like, well, I don't think anybody's going to agree to let us have two 98s, especially on the same side of the ball. So we just got to kind of balance it out here over the last two games.
So it's just going to be defensive back.
Right now, Chris. Yep.
Jamion Lewis, their receiver, has thrown 3 touchdown passes. What kind of plays are happening for that?
Well, two of them, were pretty good deception plays. But, the big thing is, I think the part about those type of offenses, and we've thrown a couple passes ourselves, obviously, is just to take advantage of a kid. He's obviously got a great arm. He's got an opportunity to use that, and the coaches have done a nice job of defining some opportunities for him. I also, what do you get nervous of? Kind of like I'm sure we've run 3 fakes in the kicking game, people, you get a lot of time to create things, and you just never know when that, you got to be aware of him where he is all the time. I know our defensive players in particular are wired into that as well as special teams.
Can you talk about Chris Murphy a little bit more? I realize you did the release, but just what that means to you.
Did we get the release? Did it get out? Okay.
Do you also like that rule of signing the invite?
It is. I tell you, it goes back to, there's never been anything for those guys to sign. I guess the SEC did it like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was when Jim was at Tennessee. There was something they did a couple years ago that got nullified. They only let them do it 1 year. I'd never seen that. I remember specifically when I was at Wisconsin, there was a kid by the name of David Gilbert, who's ironically at Miami now, but he played for us. His mom, I believe, was from Jamaica. Dave was from South Florida. They'd never been above Jacksonville. The first day at the University of Wisconsin, it was minus 48 when they got off the plane. And it was 3 days before classes started, and I told Coach Partridge, why don't you drive them anywhere and everywhere they want to go and keep the heater running? Because really a kid could leave like the night before because there was no binding. They never signed letter of intents. They never have that. That signing day is a big deal. Everybody's got the hat day. A lot of those guys are really good players. They never got to sign a letter of intent because they had already enrolled in classes. So I think this is a neat thing. We have a couple kids that are going to take advantage of the rule. It allows them to kind of have their day. We have a number of kids that are going to do it. And what I wanted to do is space it out so each kid kind of had his day that you all hopefully are going to write nice stories on. Chris has worked a long time to get this early graduation. I know Taver first saw him in high school, really was intrigued with his not just what you learned about him in the academic world, but what he saw on the football field and obviously in the athletic realm.
Now it means you're buying to him, but he's not necessarily buying. But he can't go to another SEC school.
Correct. There's some language and verbiage there. You hope it never applies.
Is that in every conference, or is that just an SEC?
I think that the conferences came up with a letter, if I'm not mistaken, of the agreement. It's really just like on National Signing Day, for what it's worth. You sign a national letter of intent. There's a certain number of kids that are going to sign a letter of acceptance, which means they just agree to come to school at the University of Arkansas. That's been in place for a long time, but now they just let us move that up for for the kids to sign it. And from what I can tell, this just came about 3 or 4 weeks ago, as soon as they changed the recruiting calendar. It sounds like this is something that can be done in advance, as early as maybe the start of their senior year or even in the summer when it projects to show that they're going to be able to graduate on time.
How do you guys have done this week preparing for the possibility of playing any one of 3 quarterbacks?
I think you got to learn, and I think you asked Dan a question, was just that, how do you prepare differently? And his response was, you run our offense, and I think that's absolutely the case. I don't think they have 3 playbooks that they hand out to the offense in case whoever's in there, but you do we know who's got what strengths, maybe not as well as they do, but we know obviously what certain quarterbacks bring to the table. So it's more of a heightened awareness when this quarterback's in there. May expect more of a run type of offense. This quarterback's in here more of a pass type of offense. I think with the freshman, you could get anything, obviously. So it's not so much different calls. It's an awareness of what might particularly happen.
Has there been any determination from your players and maybe talk from the coaching staff just not losing age ranking?
No, we don't talk a number of 8s. We talk a 1-0 mentality. I appreciate what you're saying. I think and I'm tired of losing. I think that's very, very certain. I think our players are as well. And when this egg get cracked, it's going to be a good deal. And hopefully they get a taste for it to do it several times in a row.
Do you think Mississippi State really doesn't know who they're going to start, or they're just not saying who they're going to start?
If I answer that, I'm going to get, I don't know. I've been in that shoe, too. I mean, I think that I will say this. I don't know what advantage it would be for us to know what they're going to start. I would, if I was a coach at Mississippi State, I don't think I would be telling them as well. So it's a great thing to write about, and I know why you guys want to write about it and ask about it, but it's really just a matter of who. We're not changing our defense based on who's back there. Again, you just make certain calls, but it's, we're still a 4-3 defense and have some fun on 3rd down and stuff like that.
What's your feel for energy in the room back?
I do. The video room that's right behind me, or the locker room? All right, I'm sorry. Just having fun. That's right. I'm amazed. Probably more than I ever could imagine about the resiliency of this group, and I don't think it's a matter of them not caring. I see them fight for 4 quarters. They've gotten kidney punched I don't know how many times, and they keep getting back up. I see seniors pouring their heart and soul into winning. I see our seniors care a lot about us as coaches. Have guy came in the other day, was very emotional and said he was worried about me. I said, you don't have to worry about me. I'm okay. I get frustrated. I'm very mad and very upset, but I get a chance to come back and do this again next year. You don't, and that tears me up, so, that was Carroll. Carroll cares, man. He's going to make a great coach. I hope he plays a long time in the NFL, but I'll hire him in a heartbeat back here.
You talked a little bit yesterday in your radio show about Jay Will and just his resiliency and how, he might have been overshadowed a little bit by just Alex coming in here, but can you just talk a little bit more about him and just the player he's been for you?
He is probably grown in the last 7 defeats as much as anybody, I think. He shows some signs of brilliance. I think the care factor is really there, which, I as a coach, that means a lot to me if they really do truly care. What he has to do is he just has to be more consistent in everything he's doing. The accountability factor, he's got to take a new step. He's a sophomore tailback. Next year will be a junior tailback that hopefully if we can do what we can in the next 2 games, he can be a 1,000-yard rusher. That'd be a nice thing to put in his cap. And he's going to be a running back that's the feature of an offense that hopefully does what he does very, very well. And there's a lot of positives coming his way if he wants it. He's got to show me that he wants it on a daily basis. Not 6 out of 7 days. It's got to be 7 out of 7.
A couple of guys heard.
What's up, Nate?
Maybe heard, you see, playing up to your expectations.
Yeah, probably even a little bit beyond. I've if there's a guy that's in that senior class, I would say maybe him, maybe Byron Jones. Those 2 guys in particular, if I could take one guy on both sides of the ball, if we could have them for 2 more years, they're good players, but they might be exceptional. They're both underdeveloped when we got here, guys that I think physically have made some tremendous strides in the last 6 months. But if we had those guys, I think David and Byron in particular could be something special. And I think they're both going to get a chance and get a chance to at least exhibit their skills at the next level, but they are exceptional players in a good system.
The tackling, any indicators the last couple of weeks that there's been improvement, or is it just really what happens on game day?
No, it's been drilled. It's been, especially during our bye week, we put an extra emphasis on it. I think the part that really became frustrating is those 2-yard routes, 3-yard routes, that there's a missed tackle and it turns into an 80-yard play. I mean, those are the ones that we got to eradicate from our program. There ain't a doubt about that.
Last one? I've been meaning to ask you this.
Yeah.
You don't do helmet stickers? You not do them before either?
No, I have never done them, but you're scares that you and I think alike. I've been trying to think of some things like to move forward, and I didn't do it in my last league because there's a team in that league that does it that just makes my skin crawl. So I didn't. But every year brings a new opportunity.